Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new card review for Showdown in the Badlands. The remainder of the Death Knight cards have been revealed. We have a 20 mana legendary that really costs 0 mana. We'll take a look. It's kind of crazy, maybe bad, maybe good, who knows, as well as mana cheat, an unkillable minion. Pretty crazy stuff going on for Death Knight. And if you want to win these cards, I have a giveaway going on for 2 regular pre-orders, 2 mega bundles out of my pocket. All you have to do to enter that giveaway, like and comment in the video, description below, and be subscribed to the channels. And if we manage to hit 75,000 subscribers by the end of BlizzCon, I will add another mega bundle. So hit that sub button, make me go broke. So let's take a look at the cards, starting off with the Pile of Bones, a 2-mana 2/1 undead. We're getting a lot of multi-rune cards. They're really trying to make multi-rune a thing. It hasn't worked out quite so much yet. We talked about that last review, but they're going to keep trying it. We got the Pile of Bones. It is an undead death rattle. The next time you excavate, re-summon this. So the idea is you play a 2-mana 2/1 that sucks, right? No rush, nothing. It is an undead though, so there are synergies with that. You can even use that garbage copy spell and get another one of these, but basically you'll just keep resummoning it, right? Every time you excavate, you get this 2/1 on the board. It'll feed corpses to you every time it dies, and it's just there. Is that good? I don't think so. I think it's quite bad. I guess it's a really annoying corpse generating style card. But again, it doesn't really do anything other than just be a 2/1 on the board. I don't see it being proactive. It's not really doing a lot of it. It's not resummoning a copy of it in case like you buffed it. I just don't think, even like with Excavate, which I think is going to be very powerful, its value, it's just incredible, like stickiness, it can be damage, it can be a lot of things based on, you know, all the different treasures you can get, including the legendary payoff, which is like a resummon. I just don't think you care about this pile of bones. It's just a pile of bones. So I feel like this lives up to its name, and I'm going to give it a 1 out of 5 in Standard and Wild. I just don't think I want to be bringing back a 2/1 constantly, but maybe that is valuable. Maybe that is good. We have seen those effects be all right, but typically it's like, you know, Thori Balor or the Rat King, you know, they have rush, they do something. This really doesn't do a heck of a lot, so not super convinced that this will be anything, but who knows? I'm wrong all the time, so maybe I'll be wrong on this one. Next, we have a card that I do think is really good, the Crop Rotation. It is a 3-mana spell, 1 Unholy Rune, so Rainbow, triple Unholy, whatever you want for that. You summon 4 1/1 undead with rush that die at the end of the turn. And by the way, the artwork, you gnome people. It's literally gnomes. So that's really cool. Like undead gnomes, so they've been through stuff. They've seen things, and well, they're going to attack, and then they're going to die at the end of the turn. But that's 4 corpses for 3 mana. That's pretty damn good in any deck that cares about corpses. Obviously, you get some rush and you can trade in and do other good stuff, and it triggers undead synergies and a lot of good things that these decks probably like to do. You probably prefer that they don't die at the end of the turn, but we've, you know, the baseline for these effects have typically been 3 mana gives you 3 1/1 rushes. So you get 1 more and then they all die. And typically these type of cards are just going to attack in, but at least with Death Knight, even if you are like just tempoing it and a couple of them die or whatever, let's say in that situation, at least you're getting corpses. And I feel like, yeah, this is going to be something you want to play in those decks. And I think that's valuable, especially when we have that new 3-mana spell that summons stuff based on corpses you spend. There's a lot of utilization and possibility for this card. I think it's decent. So I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 in Standard, a 2 out of 5 in Wild, where I don't think corpse generation is as much relevant. It's like playing like pure aggro, or you're playing a greedy blood deck that's not going to win anyways, but you're going to have fun playing it and you'll win the odd game. But regardless, yeah, I think it's a playable standard card, and I love that you can gnome people. Gnomes! Anyways, the next card we have here is really scary to me. The Skeleton Crew, a 4-mana 3/3 undead, 1 frost rune. So again, rainbow capable, triple frost, you know, all the combinations you can do. But what is it? It's a 4-mana 3/3 undead battle cry. You excavate a treasure. It costs 0. So basically, let's say you're at that, you've already got your common treasure, your rare treasure, your epic treasure. You excavate, and oh yeah, create the Azurite rat, and it costs 0 mana. That seems pretty good, right? Like, this just seems really absurd to me. Like, it's like, yeah, I want to play excavate cards when I got something like the skeleton crew that gives me a 0 mana treasure that can be absolutely nuts, that I just get to play the turn I play this, so that the tempo I'm losing of playing a 4 mana 3/3 is pretty much null and void by this mana cheat. This seems like an incredible card that's going to see play if Excavate Death Knight is a thing. I do think it is a thing. This payoff, the Azurite rat, is pretty ridiculous. Just a giant amount of stats, and let's say it's the Primus or whatever, that's really good. And this card to me seems absolutely great. And maybe you're not even playing a full-on excavate deck, it's just getting that value. Even like the common ones aren't even that like bad, they're all above the curve for what you get, but I think they're like 1 mana, then 2 mana, then 3 mana, then 4 mana. You really want to like try and time it, I guess, for your epic, for your legendary. And that just seems nuts to me. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5 in standard. Hell, maybe Wild figures out a way to make this good. You can brand it and get 2 treasures. That's something to consider. I'll give it a 3 in Wild. But yeah, when things cost 0 in Hearthstone, did you know that can be pretty broken? So when I says it costs 0, I'm going to take it pretty darn seriously. Like, I feel like the devs don't do super seriously sometimes with all the mana cheat. But yeah, it seems like a really good card, but it is restricted by 1 rune, so you have to be triple blood. They don't get to take advantage of this. Triple unholy, they don't, but everybody else, they can at least run a copy or 2 copies of this card. And lastly, we have the legendary minion. Speaking of dual rune cards, Reska, the Pit Boss, a 20 mana 6/3 undead. Those are terrible stats for the cost. Boulder Fist is laughing out loud at this card, but funny thing is, there's text on the card, and it has rush, and it costs 1 less for each minion that died this game. So friendly minion, enemy minion, doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be in your hand. It can come to your hand, it can be 0 mana as long as 20 minions have died in the game. But wait, there's more. Death Rattle, take control of a random enemy minion, and this is an undead, right? So again, we're talking about that 4 mana like copy spell, copy an undead, and you have to spend corpses to like, well, you give it +2/+2, then you spend like 5 corpses to make a copy. You could get like 2 Reskas. There's like possibilities like that, and you could trade this in, kill something, and steal a minion. How good is that? I really don't know. We're restricted by Frosted and Holy Rune. Can't be running triple. I guess it's a kind of a, like, Rainbow wants to be playing cards like, crop rotation, that 4 minions die right out the gate with that, plus what they're killing. That's going to get this going. I don't think this is going to take very long to get to be relatively cheap, especially if you're playing a token-based deck. You got Death Rattles, you have your hero power, and I don't think this is going to come down as, 0 mana by like turns like 6, 7, 8 maybe. It's playable by around that time too. Seems all right. And then yeah, you get to steal a minion, possibly a really good one, possibly nothing, but it's something you can also try and set up with trades. It's an interesting card. I don't know how good it is. I don't know what deck it goes into. I guess like a Rainbow DK. I feel like it doesn't even really fit into like Plague Death Knight because it's not that tokeny, and you can't play it in triple unholy. So it's got some weird stuff going on with it, but 0 mana cards, we know that can be really good, and the Death Rattle can be absolutely impactful. It is random though, so there's only so much you can do to control that. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna give it a playable 3 out of 5 in standard, a 3 out of 5 in wild, especially like even Death Knight, where they're always hero powering, can get this out pretty quickly. I just feel like, the initial 6/3 is not crazy, it kills most things, and that stealing can be really good. Maybe it's just bad. I don't know. I just feel like it's playable. It gives 0 mana, kill a minion, steal a minion. How bad can that be? It's got to be pretty good in the right situation, right? Honestly, maybe it's a 4. I'm going to go with the 3, middle of the road, really boring. You know what? Let's get bold. 4 stars out of 5 in standard. We'll go to 3 out of 5 in wild for the reason like the even Death Knight, if they're not running triple unholy, maybe it's worth it. I don't know. But yeah, this it's a weird one. I'd love to hear what your guys' takes are in the comments below. And that's it for the card reveals today. There will be more tomorrow. I think of like 2 a.m. I'm not going to be sleeping much as usual, so stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.